You ever, like, read a book and you're like, this is nice, this is good, this is nice. What's next? So, I read The Prince and the Pauper by Mark Twain, aka Samuel Clemens. Everyone has probably heard of The Prince and the Pauper. If not The Prince and the Pauper, then they probably heard of The Barbie Princess and the Pauper, or that Wishbone episode, or the bajillion things based off this book. There's a lot. There's a bunch of things in this book that I really like, and there's a bunch of things that I'm just like, okay. The gist of the story is it is about this boy named Tom and a boy named Edward. Tom is the pauper, and Edward is the prince. Tom lives this horrible, downtrodden life, and Edward is the prince, and he lives a spoiled, luxurious life. And then they switch places and learn great lessons. That's the plot, which everyone knows. There are things in this book that I was pleasantly surprised about. I like that Edward is actually Edward Tudor, aka the son of Henry VIII. Tom Canty, I liked when it started, and then I hated him by the end of the book. Not hated, but I was like, okay. He's fine. But I really liked Edward, and I really liked his relationship with, what's his name? Miles Hendon. I should have remembered that. I really liked the relationship between Edward and Miles Hendon. It's kind of like this weird Mr. Turner Sean from Boy Meets World relationship where Miles is like, I'm gonna adopt you, and Edward's like, what? It's basically that. I liked that supply of Miles in general. I liked his whole trying to come back after being banished and trying to reclaim the love of his life and all that stuff. I really liked Edward's subplot. Just him growing as a person, becoming a better person. Like, you know Edward is gonna die. Not in this book, but in history. How many historical books have I read where it's like, I know this dude is dead because history? A lot. But it's really fun, and I kept thinking while I was reading this that this was written by Charles Dickens. Like, the whole opening with Tom Canty being like, oh, how poor I am, and how pauper, and da-da-da-da-da-da, just gave me very serious Charles Dickens vibes. Very waiting for Ebenezer Scrooge to show up. I liked it, I enjoyed it, I think I'm gonna keep it. If you are vaguely interested in it, you can read it. I listened to the audiobook read by this dude, which is on my Library's Overdrive app. It was good. Ooh. We're gonna pick the next one. My cat is just purring and knocking everything over in the background. I'm so sorry about that. So, jar. Grab one, this one. The Island of Dr. Moreau by H.G. Wells, which is my bind up. Goodness gracious, I was not thinking I was going to read that forever. Which is hence the reason of the TBR jar. I'm getting like all my classics out too. I own a lot of classics. I was worried it was going to be a mystery, and I'm reading a bunch of mysteries right now, and I was like, I don't want to add another mystery to this bunch. But the Island of Dr. Moreau! Ah! Okay. The Island of Dr. Moreau by H.G. Wells. Read that next.